right now. You have all inspired me in one way or another.
Oh
I
my
can say
God.
that. Whether it be negative or positive. Whether it be through my music or how I act around you, you've all inspired me one way or another. I just want to say that first. So I'm doing my capstone on ADHD, and it's you know what it has to do with me and what it has to do with musicians and their creativity and how it impacts their creativity. For me, ADHD is like a miracle drug for me because whenever I like sit down to play, my mind's everywhere. I think about this, I'm playing that, and I switch to a bunch of different genres, and I just go through everything. And it's affected me through my entire life since I was 5. And for other musicians with ADHD, it can like help. It can be a very drastic thing, but it can help because it affects the creative process. It affects the way they conduct. Because people conduct, as you guys have seen before, I conduct differently. Really whack. It's hard for me because it's hard to keep a beat. It's hard to stay focused because ADHD affects the way you can like think, makes you more hyperactive. It affects your dopamine levels, and affects how you learn. Because most people with ADHD are hands-on learners. As you guys like see me play piano before, when I play piano, I go at it, and I switch up a lot of stuff over and over and over again because it's something I like. And ADHD has helped musicians in so many ways because it can change the pathway the musician is on. For example, there was a study where they took children and they had children play, let's say, 3 different instruments. Let's say like piano, saxophone, those 3 instruments. Yeah, piano and saxophone. And they gave them like small lullabies. Mind you, these kids had somewhat like halfway experience with these instruments. And they had them play them for about 3 hours. They come back, and these kids, they played the songs that they were given. So like, say for example, Mary Had a Little Lamb, and they were doing it nearly perfect. And after that, they had them take a test, like an actual quiz. And they listened to the songs that they played, and those kids got about 90% of every question, about 90% of every question on the quiz right. And for me, like, because ADHD, I'm gonna speak from my perspective. Like, I'm taking a test. It happens with everyone. Taking a test, I will space out. I'll forget what I'm doing. I'll be like this, and I forget what I'm doing, because it can affect your attentiveness and awareness, whatever you're doing. However, with music, you're keeping a beat, and you're keeping your idea, you're keeping your eyes on one thing, which is the music, and it fuels you. And I like to say, ADHD and music can move hand in hand if you have it. For example, I'm not the only artist that has it. Justin Timberlake, adhd, and even Joe Perry from Aerosmith and Ozzy Osbourne, they all have ADHD, and they all somewhat suffer from it, but I wouldn't say suffer. I think of it as like a gift, because it helps me a lot with my creativity. Like, I'm thinking of one thing. Oh, how could I forget? Mr. Gavin LaRock, yeah. Mr. Dean over here, yeah. He also yeah. And I already know, like, cause like as a drummer, it'd be very hard to learn how to play the drums, and he's very, very good, very talented, in my opinion. But for Ozzy Osbourne, he has said himself that because of his ADHD, he literally plays in his head. He plays songs in his head. He can go note for note in his head, and because of that, he doesn't want to lose it, because the second he's gonna forget about it, it's gone forever. So he feels like he needs to go and record that music immediately. And he said himself, I should have done this. He has said himself that with ADHD, it allows him to create and has helped him create so many songs, even unreleased music. That it's the fact that he keeps going through ideas, because you're always thinking of something else. Like, you lose track, as I said before, but it doesn't always have to be negative. It can be a great thing. Personally, for a musician, I wouldn't say for everyone, but definitely with music. And as I said earlier, ADHD has impacted me greatly as a musician ever since I was 5 years old. It's taken me on a journey in my life that I will never forget. Even if I get dementia, I'm never gonna forget it. And over time, our brains have learned to think fast with like mental disorders like this, for not even only ADHD, like schizophrenia, ADD, ODD, a bunch of different disorders. However, I feel like my creative juices flow more lucratively and like better with the fact that I have ADHD, and like some people would say suffer from it, but I don't think I suffer. Because like when you can sit down in like 20 minutes, and you have a great song going, and then like in the next 30 minutes you got another great song going. It's astounding to me, and I think it's beautiful. I don't think anyone should like feel like they need to like be different because they have or suffer from ADHD, because in this room a lot of people suffer from it, and people think, hey, it's just you losing attention. It's not. It's like a lot of people like to say it's on the lower end of autism, like on the spectrum. I wouldn't really say so myself. I'd say it's more like its own different disorder. And it causes a lot of people to go through depression because people are looked at differently because they have it. It affects the way they interact socially. And personally, me, I took my peers, I take my teachers, I feel like everyone has taught me in one way or another about how I should act, about how I can be, about who I can be while suffering from ADHD and as a musician. And I would like to thank Mr. Newman, because Mr. Newman's the reason why I play bass. Him and Italo, he was a senior, because Newman thought, hey, since this guy's always standing up in my class, let's put him on the upright bass. Which I'd like to thank you for that. It's really nice for me. And I would like to close off my capstone with saying that ADHD and music go hand in hand together. And with the piece I have made, which is called Secreventillus, it has no other meaning. I just think it sounds cool. I think that you guys are going to enjoy it. I couldn't have done it without this man, this guy, especially not him. So I hope you guys enjoyed what the four of us are going to play for you today. And let's get started, boys. Not too loud. I'm gonna play. Show your eyes. Show your eyes. Oh yeah, as I should say, it's like an improv. It's more like an improv thing because I have different versions of it. Because as I said earlier, I switched through genres, and we're gonna be going through a bunch of different genres today for you guys. So I'm gonna show off what I actually learned within the last 4 years here at Co-op, and show off my musical talent, powers, whatever. These guys are gonna show off what they got for you. We have Anthony playing alto, baritone, and he's gonna play a little guitar. We have Mr. Seifold here, who's gonna be kind of conducting us around on piano. We have our amazing percussionist Gavin, who's gonna be keeping us a beat here. So whenever you're ready. Don't forget the Q&A. Come on, Anthony. Come on, Anthony. Come on, here he comes. Here he comes.
Anybody have any questions for Marcus?
That's Mr. Mills.
Marcus, I'm curious if, in order to order things in the day, I've had other ADHD
Please be quiet.
that will take out a pad of paper and they'll write down, I'm going to do this. Do you do anything like that during the day? So you
I do
order
stuff like that at home. I try and schedule or plan out how the day could go for me, and I try to do things as to where it could go the way I think. And I try to make sure things aren't as crazy as possible, and I try to minimize like mistakes. Cause like, trust me, like especially with my handwriting, Miss G knows how bad that chicken scratch could be. So yeah, that's a part of it. But yeah, I do stuff similar to that. I wouldn't say exactly writing down because I will lose those notes fast. So yeah, I like to give myself reminders sometimes on my phone.
Right.
Yeah, and I like to set timers for stuff. Any other questions?
Any other questions? Anybody?
No, but I just got to comment. I don't have questions. And this is the reason why we come to an art school. And I am so proud of seeing you in the hallways going by, busy, but the talent that exuded here today is just unmatchable. I've never seen anyone with
Where's Trinette? Where's Trinette? Yeah.
played so many different instruments. Commented on that, and I'm happy that you found peace in your art that can keep you that calm and to keep you focused. Well, important, because you know with the whole situation. But again, labels are just what it is, labels, and we're not going to be defined by what the labels say who we are, but so you have defined all the words in this whole plane here today. And I just wanted to share that. I am still kind of chilled from just experiencing this sort of
Thank you, Mr. Andy. I try to do my best. I try.
you're very welcome. Thank you, Mr. Newman.
Thank you, everyone.
Marcus,
I have a question. If there was a 10-year-old in this room who had just been diagnosed with ADHD and was frustrated about their future, particularly to do with music, what advice would you
Wait,
give?
like they're gonna do music?
Like they want to do music, but they think that diagnosis might mean that would affect their
I would
ability
tell
to do
them
that.
to find what they feel comfortable and to do as much as they can. Never shy away from anything, no matter what anyone says, and to just try and be the best in they can be. Be the best you can be. That's honestly it. That's honestly all you can really do. No matter what a doctor might say, therapists, bullies, people, teachers, anybody, whether it be negative or positive, at the end of the day, you write your own story with ADHD if you have it, and they should do their best. And they should do the best they can try to do. Honestly, that's all they can do.
Again, like Mr. Hankey, I second Mr. Hankey's comment. What you've done over the 4 years, and it's been really wonderful to see, Marcus, is you've just blossomed and you're fearless in trying other instruments. You know, I always encourage students to have, to try instruments. I try to have a rack of instruments over here, hoping kids will just experiment, and because that's how all the greats, learn new instruments. They just pick them up and they
Play.
And they play, right? And we've done that, right? And it's I brought the accordion out. You took it home, like for the weekend. You and Andrew, right? You're taking the accordion home. The guitar, you take the guitar home. The mandolin, right? And so.
I haven't touched that thing. I'm not.
But that kind of fearlessness and the camaraderie and the experimentation you did with your best friends is what art is all about and what music is all about.
Yeah, how it should be.
I salute you on putting this together. It's really wonderful, and it's a great capstone, conclusion of your 4 years here, and it's an inspiration for everybody here and in the arts,
Everyone here is
and
an
in life,
inspiration.
right? You
Yeah.
take that kind of creativity and that fearlessness into life. That's what living is all about.
Yeah. I just want to say one thing for everybody, because I've been inspired by, like as I said earlier, everybody. Even like Caleb was inspired me when we kids not always got along. Like Caleb was inspired me. Andrew, Miss Garcia, Mr. Newman. Even though I've been to a couple of times before, Mr. Martin. But yeah, I like to look at everyone as like their own, like, you know, let's say, piece of music. Because everyone's different. So like I should try to learn from everybody. Even though I do get a lot of people angry, I try to learn from them. I like watch what they do, see how they respond to me. I try to work on some of that stuff. It doesn't always work out, but I try. Yeah. So yeah, I have learned within my 4 years of being here a lot.
Thank you all for coming.
We got to do our Capstone!